Thank you, Honourable Speaker, sir. Honourable Speaker, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Cabinet Ministers and Assistant Ministers, Honourable Members of the Parliament, good evening to you all. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to thank the Honourable Attorney General and Minister of Economy and his team for presenting the 2019-2020 budget on Friday, 7th June 2019. Mr. Speaker, say the Ministry of Infrastructure, Transport, Disaster Management and Meteorological Services is appreciative of the well-considered budget it has been allocated to deliver its services. Most importantly, the Ministry will work hard to provide critical services to most vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, say this Ministry has a vast portfolio. However, today I will only speak on the budgetary provisions affecting the maritime sector, particularly for the Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji, MSAF, Department of Transport Planning, and the Government Shipping Services. My Honourable Minister will highlight the other sectors, namely the energy, work, water, disaster management, meteorological services, and land transport sector. Mr. Speaker, say an amount of $22.6 million has been allocated for the maritime transport sector is significant, as it has clearly demonstrated the government's commitment in ensuring safe, reliable and affordable shipping services for all Fijians. This budget is targeted toward enhancing the quantity and quality of services provided in the maritime transport sector to achieve the target stipulated in the 5-year and 20-year National Development Plan. Priorities in this plan includes improving inter-island transportations in the maritime region, constructing jetties, waiting shed, slipways, and navigational aid to facilitate vessel traffic in these areas. Furthermore, increasing number of vessels in these areas, especially on uneconomical routes, and improving safety and service quality are also priorities. Mr. Speaker, say MSAF has been allocated an amount of $4.1 million, which is an increase of 7% from the 2018 and 2019 budget. This funding will prioritize the construction of newly designed light beacon focusing on the Notovi, Bureselia, and Novualu route that transits the average of 369,000 passengers on a yearly basis. This will benefit the maritime industry through providing ship safety enhancement, reliable aid to navigations, where ship will be able to operate 24 hours, 7 days a week, granting long-term visibility through increase in trade. There will also be environmental benefit that will include the increased maritime environment protections, low fuel consumption due to accuracy in navigation, and safer shipping routes. Further, Mr. Speaker, say MSAF will continue to improve establishing safety rules and standards for all actors and operators in the maritime sector through the process of implementing the Safe Ship Management System, SSMS. The most effective component of any safety environment are the capacities of involvement personnel. Further, this funding will also support the achievement of government's strategy to provide safe, efficient, reliable and affordable shipping services as outlined in government's 5-year and 20 years National Development Plan. Mr. Speaker, said, even though the above confidence building measures in safety and of maritime activities are essential, the real motivations behind this ministry's activities and planning is to develop opportunities for the people of Fiji to contribute effectively towards economic development. Customer confidence in service, access to market, availability of mode of travel, and the core safety of travel are some of the factors in building an environmental of progressive economic development. Mr. Speaker, say, previously no government have ever taken initiative to prioritize the right of maritime passengers. An additional $40,000 budget has been allocated for the implementation of new maritime passenger rights, which will include basic standard of maritime passenger travel, scheduling and fares, thereby providing newfound customer confidence in maritime service offered by various providers. Mr. Speaker, say integral in future's economic growth is the need for better enhance of economic power and opportunities in the maritime and remote areas. The ministry is focusing on three initiatives. One, enhancing access to maritime access through the concept of building a commercial hub model. Two, improving inter-island transport by increasing the number of vessels operating. And three, increasing the number of shipping routes, especially to the uneconomical maritime areas. Mr. Speaker said, the government shipping services has been allocated a total of $3 million for the purchase of a new government vessel that will be an addition to the current 12 government-owned vessels in operation. Mr. Speaker said, while we are reflecting, we are also mindful of the need to either upgrade or build new bathing facilities in the maritime area where emerging markets are developing. The ministry has allocated $650,000 for the continuing upgrading of the government wharf and another $700,000 for the completion of construction of retaining walls to ensure movement of goods from maritime islands to the urban market. Mr. Speaker said, many of the maritime shipping routes in Fiji are considered uneconomical. To enable a competitive environment of our local vessel operating services, these uneconomical routes, government will now increase the contract of the vessel under the government shipping franchise scheme to 15 years instead of current duration of 2 years. This will provide the security desired by vessel operators to venture into purchasing of new vessels, resulting in improving service delivery between maritime and urban market. $2,317 million has been allocated to the government shipping franchise schemes. Mr. Speaker said the role of the ministries is not to find new ways to spend money. Rather, it is exhibited good stewardship in spending allocated funds towards the development of Fiji and its citizens. This means that the ministries must also critically look inwards as how it is expending the resources allocated to it in providing appropriate services to the people of this nation. Mr. Speaker said, the importation of shipping vessels already has zero rated duty. In addition to this, the 2019-2020 budget provides for the exemption of VAT on the importation of the shipping vessels. This will lower the barrier to entry and encourage more private sector investment and new shipping companies by assisting with their cash flow. Secondly, this will improve the quality of ships, which will have a positive impact on the passengers. Additionally, the Fijian government will regulate the shipping industry so that the right of traveling public are protected. These incentives and initiatives will improve schedules and implement standard and procedures for cancellation and fares and encourage new entrants into the sector. Lastly, I would like to mention that the ministry has been allocated $150,000 to assist trade persons with the ministry. For example, skilled carpenters, electricians, plumbers employed with us to start up their own business in their respective area of skills. Before I conclude, Mr. Speaker, allow me, I wish to respond to the statement made by those from the other side of the House. Honorable Andre Charlie, in his statement, questioned why the allocation towards government shipping franchise scheme subsidiary was not increased. I would like to assure the honourable member that there is a current review on the government shipping scheme which will justify the proposed increase subsidiary that the Honourable Charlie is referring to. Secondly, Mr. Speaker said, Honourable Charlie also mentioned about the purchase of the new vessel, government vessel. He also mentioned that he has got 37 years of knowledge. I believe in his career of service, he would have understood there's a process in place. And process in place means the process in place with the procurement process, which is there. In that regard, current procurement process for the vessels is in place. And very soon, Honourable Speaker say, you will find during the Committee of Supply what is in place. Mr. Speaker say, in conclusion, in the area of maritime safety, shipping, maritime transport and planning, the Ministry has adopted strategies and prioritizing first and foremost the achievement of NDP target, modernizing and developing services and infrastructure to position for the future, improving information utilization and coordination amongst various organizations to achieve better planning and build a better service organization in service of the people and this nation, especially the most vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, I would like to state that the Ministry is serious in our approach to maritime sector development and that the Ministry is running a tight ship in fulfilling the obligations to this nation. Mr. Speaker, I thank the Ministry of Economy and his entire team, entire budget team, for their job well done, and I fully support the 2019 and 2020 budget. Thank you, sir.